Yo, what up? This Naughty by Nature. I'm KG.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Vim Rap.
Yeah. This Trigger Stretch up in here, and you're watching Toasted. Toast my bread, both sides. Bam.
Naughty by Nature, welcome to Amsterdam.
All right, how you
thank
doing,
you.
buddy?
Hey guys, that was some lecture I just witnessed. Finally, I dare say, some political stuff again.
Yeah.
It's about time, man. You said some wise words there. What struck me was the whole thing about the incarceration process. More people being incarcerated than ever in U.S. history. That's goosebump stuff, man.
Yeah, that was
Well, I mean, it's a reality, and that's our reality. That's what we're facing at home. I mean, and our young black males, including us, we've literally been under siege over there. But hey, we're all about the struggle, you know, and we're all about the fight. We're up for a good fight, and you know, from the concrete grows roses, like Tupac said. So, you know, it only makes you stronger, and you become like international influencers, and that's what they never planned.
Another beautiful thing that you guys said is you traveled the world, of course. You guys are from Jersey, so you saw the whole hip hop thing grow. Striking things from Russia, where people are living in like subhuman circumstances.
Right.
How was that? That must have been impactful for you guys.
Definitely. I mean, to get to see that stuff, and I tell people all the time, like my family or people I run into, I be like, because there's some bad places in the States as well. We just be like, man, there's some other places in other countries that you need to see, man.
Was this like worse than Detroit in this worst period?
Well, I don't think. See, the difference about American inner cities is that not only are the places, you know, systematically depressed, but then there's a siege, an influx of drugs and guns there. So when you mix that up with unemployment and deliberate suppression, that's when you get the murder rate. So I don't think that murder rate is the same in other countries,
Right,
because
because
the
the guns.
supplies aren't there.
Right.
So are you guys for stricter gun laws?
Not necessarily. It's just a matter of the programming, you know? So you have members of society, like a lot of Americans, they legitimately own guns, but they're in a more stable environment. So I don't want them to come in the hood and take away all the guns, because back in the day when the hood had no guns, they would just come through and sweep up everybody and murder them and lynch everybody. So it's not so easy to do that when you have ammunition yourself. It's just a matter of training and reprogramming our young people out there.
That's some wise words again. Even though I'm personally very much against guns, and I'm glad we don't have a lot of guns in Europe. I mean, if nobody owns guns, then nobody can shoot at each other.
True.
That's right. That's
very
right.
true.
But unfortunately, that's not our situation out there. You know, we're under siege.
Definitely true. We did an interview with Sarah Lawson, and I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with her. She's a new young pop star from Sweden. She had a massive hit, Billboard number 6 right now in the States. And she posted this picture on Instagram and said, "Black people go like, stop killing us." And then text, white people go like, but. And that struck me, that she's a white girl from Sweden and she's very much conscious of what's happening.
Right.
Right.
Well, I think, you know, it's
don't
not
take
even.
a lot. It don't take a lot to realize what's going on, especially if you're not into politics, man. Everybody knows what's going on, even the politicians. It's just that they don't, you know, tend to speak up. And some people just tend to, you know, walk away or turn a deaf ear to it, man. But it's going on, and people know it's going on.
And I think there's worldwide oppression too. I mean, like if you look at Eastern Europe, you look at Russia, you look in China, you know, you look in Africa, you look in Spain. People have historically been oppressed. So it's a common human struggle that's been going on forever. So that's why I think hip hop culture is so important, because it's born out of the struggle, and internationally people can identify with that struggle, and that's what brings peoples together. All of the racial shit is just smoke and mirrors and deterrence.
And it's always been politics and always been political. Hip hop's always been political, no matter what. No matter how you look at it, it's always been rebellious music, and it's people rebelling against the natural or what you ordinarily want to hear. They're gonna tell you how they feel, and they're gonna tell you the truth, and it's raw and uncut.
Must be beautiful for you guys to travel the world, to see all these people from all these nations here. I mean, again, like I said, you guys are from Jersey yourself. Here in Amsterdam, everybody from Europe is here. I mean, Turkey guys are here. Right. Could you ever have imagined that when you were back in the days, back in the hood?
Never could imagine we'll meet so many people from so many different countries, as well as travel and go to places like that. I mean, You know, people want to give hip hop a bad rap all the time, man. Look at what hip hop has done for a lot of us, especially us. It took us all over the world to meet so many beautiful people, man, and different cultures, all types of races, all types of, all types of backgrounds and everything. All
We're headed to
language.
Mars. We're headed to Mars. We're about to meet some Martians.
You can only go if you return. Promise me that.
All different languages, man. This is beautiful, man. You can't beat it. Man.
Hey, talking about music, your last album was 2012, right? Am I correct? 2011. It's about time you guys are dropping some new stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah. It is.
So no.
It's definitely.
Are you guys working on stuff?
It's overdue. It's overdue.
Yeah, and I definitely miss that creative process, being
Yeah.
in the studio and coming up with stuff, man. And
It's overdue.
you know, we do that in our sleep, man. So it's definitely time to figure it out.
Hey, listening to O.P.P, of course, the sample by the Jackson 5, ABC. Some would argue that it would be impossible these days to make that record because you simply couldn't get rights for the track. How did you do that back in the days?
Straight through Warner Brothers, Benny Medina. That was Tommy Boy, a subsidiary of that. We had the connections through Flavor Unit, Queen Latifah. And we basically told them, listen, you can have we'll get the writers, you get the publishing, keep that, because we're going to be able to tour, do everything else. And through that connect to Warner Brothers, they made that sample happen.
And what an amazing track.
Like sometimes, you gotta, when you come through at the beginning, you gotta take a few bumps and bruises for everything else to either be smoother or them to cut it off. And unfortunately, sort of cut it off by now. We were early in the game. We're fortunate to be early in the game when you could clear samples and get a lot of that stuff done. Whereas now a lot of people can't get a lot of that done. It's become so overpopulated. It's become massively expensive to do it now. So it's not like you can't clear it. It just doesn't make sense to do it anymore.
Right.
Did you guys actually realize when you released O.P.P that it would set off an avalanche?
Never.
Yeah, not like
Never.
that.
Not
Not like
like
that.
this.
And it's only when the record explodes and then everyone figures out what it means, then you realize, you know what, infidelity has been going on since mankind, so I understand why it works now.
The thing is, I was of course a young kid when that track came out, and I didn't know for fuck's sake what it was about. I was like, this is good stuff, and rapping to it. Yeah, fantastic. And you didn't have Instagram or any internet to look it up, so great stuff. Hey, a lot of firsts for you guys. First crew to be to have the Hip Hop Grammy. First crew to play Fenway Park. Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Couple
Naughty
of
Kids
firsts.
on the block.
We got a couple
Shout
of
out
firsts
to
under
our
our belt.
blockheads.
We have a couple of firsts.
And the new kids on the block make that happen.
The management wants to throw my stuff in the canal, so this is going to be the last question. Beautiful clip on the homepage. God is in all of us. Religious, political track. You're wearing the Lord Almighty around your neck. You're a religious guy?
Yeah, very. But where we grew up, it's like the majority was Muslims. So when we came out from church, I go to church and go to the masjid and back and forth. You taught hate. When you grow up around love, it's like them just my brothers. You know what I mean? I just thought when I was real little, we went to different churches till I found out it was different religions, but we grew up still to this day. And it's like, Assalamu alaikum, alaikum assalam. They're my brothers from Sandbox. So we weren't taught hate, so we wasn't brought up on it. So
That's a beautiful message and beautiful, well said, especially concerning the attack that just happened in New York. Can we hope for new music by you guys?
Yes,
Yeah,
we can
definitely.
hope for it,
Yeah.
definitely.
And you can always go to YouTube and see the music that a lot of times they'll say is for a new artist, and they won't play the music if we just give it to them like back in the days. But we give free music, free videos, and let them know that we still out there creative. But we're gonna make sure if we come out, it's correct, where it ain't just sitting on the shelf and nobody hear it, because we could just continue to give it out to the fans free.